more billionaires the day for America past any other place. Why? Why be say that they make more inventions, more discovery than any other place in the world? Their population are less than 5% of the global population. You don't ask yourself why? Why be say the country be so advanced? You don't ask them why? For all my studies, why I don't study over the last 10 years or 12 years, I don't read about 50 biographies, the history for study, the most successful people, for American people, their history. I did read a lot of them. Now, one thing, all them, they get them in common. All the big people for America, where they get all the plenty money, all them, they get one thing in common. All them, they develop the habit of contribution for their country. They develop the habit for start taking a percentage of the money where they start, but even when they never ever start for, even when they never start for get the money for become billionaires, even when they never ever become a millionaire, all them, even when they only make now $100 for the whole year, they start for take a percentage of that money for give them back for their own communities, for give them back for their own societies, which they call and say charity. All those people that develop the habit for what they call them for the big book, what they call them Bible. When I call and say tithing, but for the non-religious people like we, they call and say contribution. All those people that develop the habit very early on for start take a portion of their money where they make them every month or even every week. They take that portion of the money, they contribute them as charity for bless their community. When hear? They take a portion of their money for give them for charity, for bless the community and the country where they come out there. The one where they get ear, when I hear fine. The one where they get heart, make it touch on a heart. Every month, before these people they become wealthy, they develop the habit for practice which they for that big book where they call and say Bible. When they call and say tithing, then they call and say charity, then they call and say contribution, then they call and say giving. They start for take whatever they get them as earnings. They take a portion of it, 10%, some of them are 20%, for bless the community and the society within the commodity. Now, one of the things in this way make all these people they get them in common. All them. All. And you tend for see, for most of those people, they get abundant health, they live very long. They get good health, they get good marriages, and most of them, they live very long life. So a lesson there for your way, for the one the way that you understand the way una fit understand as I try for put them for the simplest way what I fit put them. I hope say all man fit start forget the lessons. Life get laws and it get principles. Anything and any person, the core law for life, anything and any person where it need to contribute beyond itself, it go shrink and it go be extinct by nature. Anything where it need to produce value and make a contribution beyond itself, your life will become very small. They ask me, PS, for all these things we talk, what will be the meaning of life? Now only two things there. Now only two things there will make the meaning of life. Not be what you get and not be what you take. Number one, now what you give, the quality of impact where you make them, the other people, their lives, where you change them. And it starts with your family, the lives of your family, within your family where you change them, and the contribution we make them for your own society. At the end of every person in life, now how you go measure your life. You not go measure your life by how hard you work. You not go measure your life by how much position you be accumulating. You not go measure your life by how much house them you be building. You not go measure your life by how many degrees you be getting. At the end, it go boil down to only two things. How much difference you make for other people, for other people their lives, and how much you help for improve the quality of life for your society or your community. At the end, it be very important for all we, because all we don't see what people that they go through for ground zero. For every ambassador we there for outside, we there for diaspora. Just the fact say you come out ground zero, you enter diaspora. That one already a blessing. The fact say you come out ground zero, for somehow, whether your family put the money together or now you find the visa by yourself, somehow you come out ground zero and you find yourself for a different country where you get peace and you get a little bit of security. That one already a blessing for you. Number two, the fact say you dey outside. That means say you dey for a position. God don't put you for a position for you for make a difference, a contribution for the other people who will leave them behind, for the country where you come out there. I know say some other people, they don't want to hear anything about Ambazonia. They don't want to hear anything about what is going on for our people there. The biggest contribution where any person feel make them now for how I feel help a people where they don't rise up, they don't stand up for ask for their freedom, for the protection of their lives. Now how I feel make a difference. Now how I feel make a contribution. Now how I feel contribute for save the life of 8 million people then. Now which kind of difference I feel make them? The biggest amount of charity where you feel give. Now the charity or the contribution or the tithing, anyhow you want call them, you call them for your own way. Wetin I feel take them for wetin life already bless me and for give for the liberation of our people. For give for save the lives of our people. For give for end the suffering of our people. For give for make sure say small picking them. Mommy will be pregnant. Sister will be pregnant. They not burn them for their houses. We stop the one that they stay for bush, but they not stay for bush anymore, and help them for come back for a liberated territory. Now the highest charity where any human being, where it come out for a society, where a people that they go through this kind of pain, this kind of torture, this kind of suffering, the highest charity, the highest act of kindness, the highest act of contribution, the highest act of compassion, the highest act of caring, where you feel make them. And for show who you be as a human being, as a caring person. Say God don't bless you, find yourself in America. For the United States, every time a hurricane, a natural disaster happen, most ambassadors so they stay for America. They did donate thousands of dollars just for go help other place them, other states for America. where they only go through a natural disaster. Now either a hurricane can destroy most part of the states. Most Amazonians, where they practice the culture of America, the culture of giving, they donate thousands of dollars. Now, we are on a past a natural disaster. Which did happen for Amazonia? It be beyond natural disaster. Now a human crisis. Now a genocide. Now ethnic cleansing. So what more? If you don't be blessed, so you're there for Canada, United States, Australia, Germany, France, any place. Whether you're doing that for Tanzania, or you're there for Egypt, whether you're doing that for Tunisia, or no matter any place you're there for this world. Somehow, you're there for a safer place, you get a source of income. Whether in a small business, or you just the hustle. For expand who you be as a person. For expand yourself, your spirit, your soul. You will be defined not by when you are people that you go through this kind of thing. And what you be do? You get a business. You be a businessman. You be a businesswoman. And somehow you don't get the blessings of life through your creativity, your intelligence, your education, and the opportunities of free market system. You don't get the blessings of a good career. Take $10,000 out of your blessing and give them for the liberation of your own people. Take 20,000 out of the abundance of the company we don't build them and contribute them for the freedom of your own people. Take 50,000 and give them for the freedom of your own people. Some of you now, during American politics, during elections, during the Senate elections, or for people there that go for Senate elections, or for the Congress elections, when they put a lot of money for these people them. When they put a lot of money for the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. When they put a lot of money, that will not be even time for war. Now for vote some person, may they continue for keep una state where you did it, fine. I agree. Now I want call on all we. I want call on you. Say take part of that money. Now, not put on just for election person. Now put them for save lives. Now take and put them. Because you for place where you did, you enjoy some form of freedom. Just like me. Just like all we. Put them so that other 8 million people, your own brothers, your own sisters, make them be free so that they feel enjoy that same freedom just like you. Ambazonians will be well-to-do. One Ambazonian, if he change the destiny of the Ambazonian people for this time, where the people need them. One Ambazonian. One Ambazonian. If he provide $100,000 for put a new stabilization force brigade of 50 trained commandos of the Akamanso for Putam, for Fako. One Ambazonia if you do one. One Ambazonia. One Ambazonia. If he put $100,000 for buy 50 high caliber materials, for put 50 Akamatsus for the great state of Manu, when a strategic place, and it will change this war immediately. It go change everything for the Ambazonian people them. Everything. May not be na something way, oh, not only the one the way, you know, they still on the path for rich, for high level. Not only them, they feel contribute their $50, their $100, their $200, their $500, their $1,000, their $5,000, and then the middle class, they feel give $10,000. We get them the way they did for high class, where they fit where their contribution, if you make a difference, if you make a big difference and change the lives of our people them, and shorten this war of independence, reduce the suffering of our people them, and end Cameroon occupation of Ambazonia. The war be winnable, because I know say most of the doubts that they come whether we go succeed or not, we don't already succeed. Cameroon don't lost legitimacy already. If you don't know, make you know. Forget the propaganda on the ground. Cameroon already lost political and administrative legitimacy for governing Ambazonia. They don't let do amna through their army, police, gendarme, and B, through armor cars. Politically, Cameroon is control Ambazonia anymore. So they already lost that war. Now, if we build a capacity, as Dr. Abadon prescribed and described for the Ambazonian people, now up to we, for see how effective this strategy be, and why the stabilization force it be very important for give confidence for ground zero, and for give the confidence who will need them for a diplomatic currency, for knock Cameroon out. For win the war, we already win the war. Now for take the country, and the thing this way lack. The war already be won by the Ambazonian people then. The block by block strategy, it don't finish La République du Cameroun politically. Their army, police, and gendarme, they only fit survive now through Amoka. Now for the Ambazonian people then. That's why they come today for appeal. For talking about spirituality. Talking about what you wanna know. As an act of contribution for the greater good of our people then. There is no other greater blessing the way any person it go ever get them than the blessing for stand up for defend people them, protect people them, and give them the freedom where they need them. There's no other blessing. Whether you drink a 100 bottle champagne, it not gonna make you happy. Whether you go be face to face with Mona Lisa, it not gonna give you the fulfillment where you need them. Fulfillment, which when I call and say deepest joy, it comes from the difference where you make them and you see the impact of your contribution. Now for all the fulfillment, all the deepest joy for this world, it come from. But this conversation, I know say, usually I don't like to get this conversation for this kind of platform, but I just need to get this conversation winner. I usually do like to get this conversation for my professional work platform then. But sometimes we need to get this kind of conversation because our people sometimes they not get this kind of science and education. You have the meaning of your life. It will come now from the meaning of your life. It will always be measured with all the blessings where you get them. What will be the difference where you take those blessings you make them? You don't born picking, don't grow. Then you don't start born their own picking. All those things at the end of the day, you go think say it don't make a big difference. But you go still look and say, what will be the real difference I make them for here other than for build a house, get a degree, get a doctorate, make money, a big fine house, a born picking them. What else? What else? I travel the world. What else? You don't ever ask yourself? Go study those people. Go study the most successful people for the world. Go study the Mother Teresa's. Go study the Mandela. You go know. Go read all them. Now Bill Gates. Now ain't that one of the most wealthiest man for the whole world? Why be say with all the money we get him? Why be say the gonna for Africa, for India, go for all the other places for see how if it save lives? Why be say that it take 50% of your money and he decide for retire early so that make he spend the rest of his life for take that the money we don't work on. 50% of all the money will be almost $50 billion. He did one now, the goal now how if he take that money for make a difference to other people their lives. So if he not make that difference, those people their lives not go ever improve. Why? Why he and Madam Gates? Why when I think so they do these things? Once you start to study these people then, you go understand why they become so successful. And you go understand why, even for place where they day, why more blessings that they still come for them. Imagine this one. I know that this one will be, it go really make una head shake. Bill Gates creates the Gates and Melinda Foundation, right? Another billionaire, what they call it, say Warren Buffett. He did 85 or 86 now. At 86 years old, he still be the most successful financial trader or the most successful investor for the entire planet. At the age of 96, it is still work. And he take half of his money when at 50 billion. He give him for who? He give him for the Gates Foundation. I tell you what he talk. He say me I know again. He say me. God don't bless me. Say they born me for America. That's what he talk. When I feel go watch, I'm there for YouTube. Because for evening, that's why I spend my time for study all these people there. Forget their own psychology. May enter me too. May enter my skin. So that I feel be like them. In terms of personality. So, Mr. Buffett, Warren, they ask you, say, why you carry $50 billion? You give them for another person. Where you get more money? He say, because the person don't prove, say be good for manage that kind of money. He don't need them. He don't need even $1 of the extra 50 billion. And the work way they do them, he don't prove and say for the whole world. He get the competence, he get the passion, and he get the structure for do that kind of big humanitarian project then. And manage them. And for his age, he's still young. So if he do them, so if I give an extra 50 billion, it go help him, make it help more people and do the good things then for this world where governments is not fit do them. Especially poor governments for third world countries not fit do them. So that's why they give you the extra 50 billion. Make it continue with the work. Because me, I not get the, it talks, Warren Buffett talks, me, I not get the sense where you get them for do that kind of work. So he get the sense. May he take the money, go do them. They ask he, they say, but why? He talks, say, look, God don't bless me, say, I feel make this kind of money. Because they born me from America. But I got the money come through me. The money not my own. The money not the money for the world. My goal now for make the money. And then take that money, give them back for the world. Make it help the world. Make the world better. Make life better for other people than too. So that we feel create opportunity with those same people them. They are picking them all themselves. They feel get the opportunity with me I get them for America. For place within a day. This one. Now in America, an American they give money. Me they take them. Do all kind of things. Where they feel help for people them. For developing countries and even for America. Where their government not do them. While people too feel do them. There are people that need to go through war. They need do them because people they go through war. They did do them not because they know the purpose of life. They did do them, they know say at the end of the day, now those things they matter. At the end of the day, not that there are billions they matter. Now wait till they take those billions, they do them. How much chop they fit chop? How much meat you fit chop? How many fish you fit chop them? How many chicken you fit chop them? How many women that you fit sleep them? How many man picking you fit sleep them? If you be woman, how many man picking you fit sleep them? If you be man, how many women you fit sleep them? You feel only do those things so much for find joy. How many cigar you feel smoke them? How many vacation you feel take them? For find happiness. At some point you will realize I say all those things will be important as part of your abundance and lifestyle. But you know say the place where your joy it will come from your soul. It will come from the contribution we make them. Especially for we. This one, I did take also now for related for our context. For the situation we dey. Every family, every Ambazonian family. I did call on all Ambazonian papa and mommy them. The one they did for diaspora. When I look, when I self for I. When I look each other for I. When I look each other for face. And ask yourself, if una don't give enough for save the Ambazonian people then from genocide. Una ask yourselves, if you don't do enough for protect Ambazonian picking them from genocide. As a couple, as papa and mommy with a born picking them. You don't do enough for save other women them. You don't do enough. You don't contribute enough. Your household don't contribute enough. For end the suffering of the Ambazonian people them. Your family don't contribute enough. If you take all the blessings where life don't give you, you don't contribute enough. You don't really give enough. When you see what people that they go through for ground zero, you don't ask yourself, have I done enough? Has my family done enough? Have we done enough? This world is prolonged. Now because we never develop the character of giving. This world is prolonged. Now because we never develop the heart of stretching ourselves for care beyond ourselves. No matter how much you don't give for what you have, you get. If you do a little bit more. If you do a little bit more. For all the business people them. When I step up. If we contribute enough, if we reach deep within ourselves, we do enough, by the end of this year, Ambazonia will be recognized. If we put enough trained forces under the command and control structure, we don't proven for be dependable, for be trusted on a strong leadership for the Ambazonian people them. By the end of this year, Ambazonia will be recognized. Now we hold ourselves back. Not be like the Republic, not be like the international community. Now Ambazonian people, they hold themselves back. Dr. Ayabacho, he don't give una everything we get him. So he don't become bored. He don't give. He don't small young boy. He don't give everything we get him. Just for save Ambazonia. Don't produce the best strategy. Show the Ambazonian people them a quality of leadership and sacrifice and intelligence and focus. We'll never see them. So it don't, even if you not be likey, no matter how much hate they don't put them for your heart about it. The last 4 years, you don't prove say all those things, now lie. They be just make them up for slow all the way down. Now, it don't develop the best system with the Ambazonian people. With none not in order if you even compare. There's nothing that if you come close. Nothing. The stabilization don't come. The stabilization force don't come. For project Ambazonia and give confidence on the ground for our people them. Because our people they need to see the strength of ADF, of the forces. For them for continue for resist and for be defiant. If you not put those structures, the colonial state through their enablers and traitors, they go overwhelm the communities and for down with propaganda and with threats. And the population will give up. Now we already defeat la Republic of Cameroon. With your help, with your family's help, when Papa and Mommy they come together, when you come together within you, you say, for this place will they so, make I do the best where I fit for move this process forward. You need to ask for much. We'll get 2 strategic places. If we put those stabilization forces for them, we'll put 50 for here, and we'll put 50 for here. I promise you that the game will end for La Republic of Cameroon within 3 months. Now mark my words. If we put 1 brigade of the stabilization force for a strategic place, and another brigade of the stabilization force for another strategic place, within 3 months, everything for the Ambazonian people will change. We already work out a plan. And the only thing that be missing right now. For which we don't give we don't produce the results of now. The forces from mention, they don't come today. When I don't see, they don't receive their own gifts. They don't receive their own materials for the stabilization budget. They don't receive their own materials. Because the block for mention, now the block by block, not be like the big force. Now block by block forces than that. When I don't see, they don't receive their own materials from the stabilization fund. And when I don't hear them, they don't can tell when I say, when I thank you. Now the ADF this, we'll put 2 brigades, 50 for here and 50 for 2 strategic places. Now we'll get the ability for knock La Republic off. We'll get a plan. Now we'll count on Wuna for help with for fund that plan. We'll count on Wuna for help with for fund that plan. 50 for here, 50 AK, now $100,000. Another 50 AK Now another $100,000. If we help we achieve this plan, we'll give the Ambazonian people 3 months, 3 to 6 months for knock La Republic off. By the end of this year, if we help we achieve these goals for the Ambazonian people, then Ambazonia will get a country back by this October 2021. Now population will celebrate for every part of Ambazonia. We will get the capacity for knock La Republic off every place of Ambazonia. That they goal that. That they plan that. So they appeal for every family. All the business people them, all our professionals, will they appeal for now. On Saturday, just 2 days from now, we will launch the second phase of the stabilization force. When I help we make we achieve this goal for our people then. When I help we, the one of Ambazonia not be for some person. And for the liberation of homeland. And for end the suffering of our people then. And for start to create space when we start to tell our refugees they may come back. Because we will create safe zones for controlled territory. We put the fist with the word about town. Now I call this and they appeal for you. For all the business where they word about Ghost Town, we'll get a strategy for Ghost Town. When I help we achieve these goals, Ghost Town it not will be a policy for Ground Zero anymore. Because the only reason we use Ghost Town now a social political strategy for continuously induced leverage on the occupier and forget the population for stay engaged. Once we build enough capacity in terms of defense capacity, now the defense forces, they go take over the overall strategy of the liberation. So if it move, loosen some of the other strategies because their time go on pass. All right, brother. I hope say it be now very clear for you and for all the business people where they call it the word about how Ghost Town they affect their businesses. All right. So on Saturday, we'll call on every person, no matter how much you don't give more. Make this year be the year where we change the Ambazonian people their destiny. May this year be the year where people they start to enjoy that freedom. They could knock Cameroon off. Economically, they don't finish. They don't really be Cameroon not become a shame for the international community. No man no one hear about Cameroon anymore. Now a stain to humanity. But now we got for show the world. Say will be a positive alternative to the chaos of Cameroon, to the atrocities of Cameroon, will be a positive alternative. The generation where it will bring prosperity, stability, peace, and security, and teach all those, how they call them, all those dead countries, archaic ancient countries for Central Africa. Because by our examples, Chad, Central African Republic, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, all those other countries where they are around we, they no will get any choice but to change. That's why you need an anchor for that region. For be a shining light. For be a model of excellence. And all those countries, then too, they no will get any choice than for model after Ambazonia. We owe that to ourselves. Make every person stop for blame the United Nations, stop for blame African Union, stop for blame Nigeria, stop for blame Pobia. Look yourself for face And ask yourself, when my people they be need me, I be doing enough for them. And if you do enough, you get the opportunity on Saturday to do enough for you and your family. Make we change the people their lives. Make we develop a culture of giving, a spiritual Christian culture of giving, of charity, of contribution, especially when it concerns the lives of a nation and a people. And the message is of today. I thank you plenty. So when I don't take the time for joining me for this conversation, we look forward for seeing you on Saturday. All right. If you also my phone number there for front day. If you also contact me, say, hey, I want to donate privately. I want to make my donation privately. Even if you make a donation privately, we will still send you a letter, a receipt, and a letter of appreciation. All right? I thank you plenty. May God bless you now. Any place you did for this world, if you contact me, if you contact the Executive Office of Governing Council of Ambazonia, I will tell you how you feel safely and send your contribution. Send your giving for the war, for the liberation, for the freedom of Ambazonia. I hope say with all my passion, I hope say with all my craziness, I hope say somehow, some way, I don't be able to touch your heart for a special way. I don't be able to connect with you for a special way. We don't be able to get a heart-to-heart conversation, or maybe a head-to-head conversation. All right? Or maybe a soul-to-soul conversation. I hope say somehow this message, they don't touch you for a special way. I will wait for a call. We'll see you on Saturday. But if you want to talk with me privately, I'll always be available. Any family where you want to meet up with Dr. Ayaba for a meeting and for make a donation for the stabilization force, please, the president always be available for visit with any family. When I just contact me, we'll set up that meeting for any discussion when I want to get them and for support the stabilization project. As we already described for now. If I help with this project, make we achieve this thing for our people then. They don't suffer for far too long. Make we end their suffering and give them which they don't always fight for the last 60 years. If we do, and for the shortest period of time, if we get this money, we'll knock them off. We need to talk. All right? ADF, now force of action. Dr. Abana, a man of action, not be a man of words. All right? Actions speak louder than words. And which we don't prove. I say, we'll be people for action. So, I thank you plenty. And as always, we will always live with her. May God bless you. And as always, we love you plenty. When I get a good night.